Hello, friends. How is everyone doing tonight? Hopefully, good. I want to let you guys know that something is broken open tonight. If you want a reading, tonight is a really good night to do it because the energy is flowing. I'm getting messages so fast this evening already. A lot of like divine guidance and intuition coming in really, really fast. Now, I don't know how long that's going to last. I do have a couple pre-orders on the list right now that I'm working through. IJ is the first one. I hope everyone else is doing really well this evening. I will be closing my list soon, though. I'm just letting you guys know. But I've already done some pre-orders and taking care of those, and those messages came through like without any hesitation. So I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone is safe today. I know that I've got some people down in Florida, and if you don't live there, you probably got family there, or you know someone who lives there. So we're sending a lot of like love and good vibes to that area. So happy to see that it went from a Cat 5 to a 3. I have been watching that shit like crazy. I don't know anyone like family wise or like even like close friends that live there, but I've just been like worried about everyone because, of course, I want the well being of everyone to just be amazing. So please send good vibes that way. I strongly, wholeheartedly believe that we have all of the power within us to use our collective consciousness to set good intentions and help weaken the hurricane. And I've seen actual evidence of it over the last couple of days, being a part of groups who are setting all of their time aside. That's kind of why you guys haven't seen me the last couple of days, because I have been taking a lot of time of my own energy to try to help people and to send good vibes their way. So I hope everyone else is doing well. Hope everyone else is safe. And let's go ahead and get started with some free questions. Thank you guys for liking the live stream. Really appreciate that energy exchange with me, especially if you're asking a free question. It's really important. Phoenix, I'm glad to hear you're doing well. Let's see. Nat, I am doing well. Thank you for asking me. I do not think that I am going to be on here very long. I'm just going to throw that out there. I might accept one or two more donations tonight, and then after that, I am going to be signing off. I'm also offering offline options tonight if you cannot hang around. I wanted to make that an option, especially if someone does live in Florida, doesn't think they're going to have power, but may still want a reading from me. So whenever they can access it, it's in their email. That's also an option. But of course, you can stick around for your reading here in live in real time. All right, give me 1 second. I gotta double check my donation lists. So I work out of an email on Yahoo, and I guess they decided to like change the look of it, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. All right, yeah. So IJ is gonna be first on donations. He's a pre-order. I'm working through SB as well, and then it's open after that. Psychic Millie, hello and welcome in. Yes, just drop your free question in the chat and I will be right with you. Hey, Jazz, welcome in. Nisha, Sophie, hello. All right, we're going to answer these pretty quick, guys. I'm going to let you know what your answer is and what card I have for you. All right, this is for Chibi. Chibi, I have a yes. 7 of Wands. I feel like he's trying not to, though. I think he's actively trying not to think of you. Phoenix. Phoenix, I have a yes. The Judgment card. This indicates like a new slate or an olive branch extended towards you. We vibes. Maybe even an apology. Apology of some sort for Phoenix. Or some type of clarity. We vibes. We vibes. I have a yes, Ace of Wands. This is a great fiery, flirty energy, especially if this is someone that you're interested in romantically. To be. I have a yes for 2B, justice. You'll get your justice. The truth will come out. You'll get what you're looking for. Nat. Nat, I have a yes, reunion, 6 of cups. Monty. Monty, I have a yes, 8 of pentacles. Sometimes this card talks about how things might require a little bit of work or effort. So this may not be something that comes really easily. It may require some convincing or communication first. Anna. Anna, I have a yes, the world, and I also have the 7 of cups. So I feel like this person's trying to get over it. I have a yes, 10 of pentacles. Amy, your intuition is correct. Precious. Precious, I have a yes, King of Swords. This is someone who's going to take authority over their life to make some things happen for themselves. Please make sure if you're asking yes or no questions, you are liking the live stream as well. It's the only energy exchange that I ask. Sweeter, welcome in. Psychic Millie, Sweeter. Jazz, I have your questions. Phoenix, We Vibes Nat, you're very welcome. Red Wine, I have your question. A Jazz donated. Thank you, Jazz. I'll add you to the list. Beautiful. I have your question. Smiley, I have your question. Nanny's you too. James, you too. We're going to go ahead and close the donation list down. We're going to do a last call for those of you who are in here. If you want to donate tonight, you can. But that is going to go, I'm going to go ahead and just close it now. You're welcome, Amy. If you are planning on donating, get those donations in the next minute or so before the list closes. Sisters, I have your question. You're very welcome. Anna, Lisa, I have your question. Thank you guys for liking the live stream. I really appreciate it. For donations, this is the order. I have IJ. He's a pre-order, so no skip. We also have SB. She's an offline, but no skip, so I have to do hers in order. James. No, sorry. Ajaz and then James. So to answer your question, Smiley, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the list right now. Smiley, I've got you, girl. All right, that's it for the list, friends. I'm going to go ahead and close it down. We're going to get back to the free reads here in just a second. Busy night. Psychic Millie, thank you for liking. IJ, welcome in. I have your question. All right, friends, let's get back to it. Nisha, I'm getting a yes, strength card. This is a good outcome. Sophie. Sophie, I have I have the lovers for you. So yeah, that's a yes for me for that question. Psychic Millie. Psychic Millie, I'm getting that there is attempt to make contact with you today. I don't think that it's multiple times. I have the Hangman and the Seven of Pentacles. It could be, but I'm not getting that. Sweeter. Sweeter, I have a yes. Four of Cups. I think he's scared to communicate this to you. It's kind of like a secret admirer type of energy. Ajaz, I have a no. The Moon. Red wine. Red wine, I have a no. Seven of Cups. I think, yeah, I'm getting a no. I'm not sure what that is about. Beautiful. Beautiful. I have a yes. Ace of Swords. Smiley. I have a no. Smiley. I have the Eight of Swords. Nannies. Nannies, I have a yes. Nine of Cups. James. James, I have a no. Five of Wands. Tina Lee. Yes, the Strength card. It's a good outcome. Sienna. I have a yes. Three of Cups. This is a celebration. Sisters. I have a yes. King of Swords. This is going to be good communication, good information based on travel or technology. This is mercurial in nature. So anything to do with the planet Mercury, how you'll receive that information. Lisa. Lisa, I have a yes. Six of Wands. That's a victory for you, Lisa. Hi, Jay. Yes, 10 of Cups. This is alignment. This is her trying to, I guess, make contact with you, or it's feeling really, really happy. Amy, enjoy your food. You're welcome, everyone that's thanking me. Sweeter, Luna, you are a lifesaver. I have to share some info with you in regards to what we talked about before. Oh my gosh, are you serious? Do you want to tell me in the chat or do you want to message me privately? You're welcome, IJ. Ari, you can go ahead and drop your question. Go ahead. All right, this is for Zhao. I have a yes, Eight of Wands. There is movement in this regard, Zhao. I'm getting a yes. There's movement here, or maybe like blocks that were there before are clearing out. Yeah, sweeter. So send me an email or message me on Instagram. All of my contact information is in the link tree in the pinned comment. So you can leave me a review. You can email me. You can send me a message on Instagram. All that jazz. But I'm looking forward to hearing about it. You're welcome. I'm so happy to hear that. All right, friends. So this is the list for tonight for donations. All other lists are closed. Makes sense. Your answer, my last candle, was with that intention. Ooh, okay, good. I'm glad to hear that resonated for you. All right. So, IJ, you're first on my donation list if you want to go ahead and get your question prepped. I'm just waiting on Ari to drop her question for free. You're welcome, Joe. Channel messages first. Okay, perfect. All right, this is for Ari. I have a yes. We have the Ten of Cups, Ari. So this talks about feeling alignment and like domestic bliss. So like essentially where you live, loving where you live, loving the people, loving your house, things like that. All right, we're working on channeled messages for IJ right now. IJ, how's it looking where you're at? Is it just kind of rainy? It's raining right now? Okay. Hopefully nothing too crazy. Hey girl, how are you? How are things going? Doing good, cozy in bed, raining but light. Okay, perfect. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear that you guys had a little bit of a thunderstorm. That's essentially the extent of it. I'm doing really well. Very, like, how do I say, spiritually energetic. mentally energetic, but physically tired. Like very like I think I could probably fall asleep if I just sat in one spot for like 5 minutes. I probably would pass out. Just been very like alert and aware. And I think that's making me physically tired. Like my spiritual body is like unrested, I guess. And my physical body is like, remember, bitch, you're still human. You need to sleep. So, but overall, I'm doing really well. You're welcome, Ari. Have a good night. I will. I will. Luckily, like all I have to worry about like for the rest of the week is like just working and taking it easy. It's just been a very busy last couple of days. But I got most of the stuff done that needs to be done. So like tomorrow is gonna just be a day at home, like getting stuff done around the house, working tomorrow night, that kind of thing. Taking it easy. I like made sure to not schedule myself for anything tomorrow. So hey SB. Okay, so SB, before I went live, I actually started your readings. So you got three, and I've already done two of them. And when it was going to be your turn, I was going to send those over. So if you want, I can send the first two, and then I can send the messages like how I sent the others. Or if you want to be here for the messages, I can do those online. But I might even be able to play the messages for you if you want. I could probably do that. It's up to you. It really is up to you. I found myself with some time before I went live, and so I scheduled my live stream, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to waste any time. I'm going to go ahead and start getting working on hers. So all I have left is your messages. So it's up to you. You let me know how you want me to do it. Okay, yeah, we can do the messages here for sure. So SB, why don't I do this right now? I'm gonna go ahead and send you the ones that I've done. That way you can be listening to them. You know, while I'm working on someone else's. And then when you're ready, because you'll be next after IJ, we can do your love messages. Because I know you want a certain order. So at least this way you can listen to your readings first and then do your love messages in a few minutes. So I'll go ahead and just send to you now. IJ, I'm about halfway done with your message. Perfect. I'm nothing or I should say I'm a multitasker if nothing else. I definitely like to make sure that I'm not wasting any time around these parts. What reader do you know gets 2 readings done at the same time, huh? And it's also good too when I do offline readings if I can get them done in advance because it's less waiting time for you guys and then the people who are waiting behind like in line for their reading, it's less time that they're waiting as well. So it works out all around. All right. So SB, you should have your love spread first, and you should have that already. And then your in-depth reading is on the way. Okay? James, that sounds good to me. James, I have your question. All right, IJ. All right. So she says to you, IJ, is it crazy to say that I miss you? I hate being apart from you because there's this piece inside of me that feels like I belong with you. I feel like I've gone long enough not being by your side. I don't really care to extend that time any. I crave your touch, your attention, and your love, and I can't receive those from a distance, at least not in the way that I want to. We already communicate and share ideas well. Now I want to know how things feel face to face. That is crazy how she mentioned communication, as that was going to be my first question. Are you serious? Okay, so you've been talking more. She and I have been having more I in-depth conversation this week, especially Monday. I wasn't expecting that much. How did she feel about the combo? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I feel like she's like, hold on, what is this? I just keep hearing like physical, like let's get physical. But I don't think she means necessarily like intimacy in a physical way. I think she just means like let's get together in person. Like let's see how this chemistry is. Let's see how it unfolds. Like I feel like she's saying what you guys have going right now is really nice and it's good and she's enjoying it because it's what she can get right now. But I feel like she's like also, this can only carry us but so far, and like I don't want to get to the point where we've like hit a wall. I like while things still feel in flow and things still feel really good, like I would love to take this in person. So I'm just hearing like if there's a physicality of this connection that she's desiring and feeling like maybe she's missing out on, and hoping that it doesn't get missed entirely. So IJ, I don't know how to advise you moving forward, and I know that you're looking for like a signal from her, and you'll do what you feel is right for sure. But I think that if you feel like you get the window from her, I think just go for it, because like, and even if she's like, let's just say, because she likes to travel a lot, let's just say she's not local when you ask her, you can always just be like, when you get back, just give you guys something to look forward to, or like, when are you in town next, or something like that. I think you guys are getting to the point in conversation where like intentions have been made clear. Now, wanting something and actually going through with it is completely different. So, I would love to see, before you like ask her out, I would love to see her in this energy that you've been feeling from her pretty consistently, for a little while. I would say like a week and a half, something like that. When you feel like she's been very consistent with that energy, she's been very like back and forth with you, giving, receiving, like you're really feeling that vibe from her, then I think that would be a great time to ask her out. I just don't want any inconsistencies. That's, I guess, what I worry about a little bit, is like sometimes she feels on, sometimes she feels withdrawn, and you're cool riding that wave with her. But I think when it's time to take it like into reality, I think you'll want to feel that consistency for a little while. Because, like I said, wanting something and actually doing it are two completely different things. But if you feel like you've been getting that vibe for a while and you're like, well, I'm already at that point, like it's already been, a week or two of just like feeling like this mutual interest, then I'd say go for it. I think you're gonna know when you know what I mean? I think you'll just have this feeling and you're just gonna feel like you can't not move forward with her. And I think that's when your intuition will be guiding you and telling you in that way. But she feels like you guys are, I think she likes a lot that you're interested in what it is that she has to say. I think that's something that she just feels is so special. And as I'm saying that, I know I've mentioned it before, whether it was offline or on here, but you remember what she says. And she's like, this is just so incredible to have somebody who's actually interested in me and like what I think and what I feel. And that is so extraordinary. And then on top of that, you guys agree on a lot of stuff, like majority of things you agree. So she's like, we have mutual interests, we have mutual goals, we have mutual desires, we have mutual viewpoints and perspectives. And obviously in any relationship you want to be your own individual and have a little bit of a unique standpoint, but at the same time being very agreeable because you agree is very indicative of a compatible relationship. And so I think that when she communicates with you, she's like, holy shit, like this might be my man. This might be the guy for me. And I also see here with the Eight of Wands where things are flowing. I'm not really feeling like any huge blocks in your connection right now. I think she feels just this like reciprocation, what I'm being shown in my mind's eye is like, the recycle symbol where it's like the arrows go up, then down, then back around. It's like a trine. And I know something about 3 points is feeling familiar to me as I'm mentioning this right now to you. But that's what it feels like. It feels like you guys just continually recycle this energy between you. It's like she says something, you say something, goes back to her. She says something, and I just feel like there's just constantly like this flow of energy that's completely open and it's just constantly being filtered and cycled like back between her and you, but her and you, her and you, that kind of thing. So that's the image that they're showing me right now. So it feels like to me that I think that she's just very much enjoying this. She's enjoying this openness. She's enjoying the banter. She's enjoying the context in which you guys are communicating. I think that there is, though, after the channeled message and like what I'm pulling for you. Oh, I have the Nine of Cups here. I think she's finding what she's looking for with you. And I think that she's really getting to the point where she's like, maybe we should kind of go ahead and see what this is in person, and kind of um, figure it out, I guess. There's a quote from New Girl that's coming to mind. It was basically like, oh, I know what it was. It was Winston and it was his girlfriend. And I don't remember the exact quote. Yeah, I love that show. But basically, they were talking about how the girl at the time that he was dating, how he was telling her he didn't want space from her, like he wanted to be right close to her, where they're just breathing each other's air, where the oxygen being exchanged then suddenly becomes carbon dioxide, and then they both die or something like that. It was just like a funny little like quip, but basically he was just saying, I just want to be so close to you that like we're breathing each other's air because we're so close to each other. And like that's kind of what I'm feeling from her for you is it's just like I feel like she's desiring this closeness with you. She's desiring to be like in your physical presence. She's like desiring like feeling what it's like to experience that chemistry firsthand, like. And a lot of why I'm feeling that specific quote is because I keep getting the Three of Swords, and it's like that's indicating to me that she's noticing the separation. And maybe I don't know. I feel like you're super patient with her, but maybe she's being impatient with herself potentially. Um, so Winston says to Shelly in a voicemail, oh, where did it go? It was, you know what bothers me about when you find a quote online and then you click the link to get the quote and then suddenly you have like 17 paragraphs to read and you're like, can it just bring me directly to the quote to make my life a little bit easier? Okay, so he says, I want to be standing right in front of you. I want the air that you breathe to be coming directly out of my mouth. I want to just be passing air back and forth between each other until it's mostly carbon dioxide and we both pass out and die. That's what he said. So that's what the quote was reminding me of. And I don't think she like literally means that, but I feel like there's this feeling of desperation of like being close to you and like wanting to see you in person. But I'm ready for your next question if you are. Yeah, she can be hard on herself. What does her team want you to know in relation to you? You've been talking to your spiritual team more, also to act as a go between her. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. That shit works. People don't know it, but asking your team to communicate with someone important to you is so like undervalued or underhyped. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but basically we don't like think about it, but all you have to do is ask. All you have to do is ask. That's literally it. And poof, you get what you're looking for. This happened to me so many times. And it works like in real time. Like within hours sometimes or days. It's so fast, the turnaround time on that. All right. So IJ, I'm hearing metamorphosis. Huge metamorphosis. You and her, you're about to enter into a new phase, into your connection. Like, you are morphing, she is morphing, together you are morphing. I feel like your entire relationship with her is about to level up. You might not even need me anymore, actually. I feel like there is so much change that is about to happen. It's gonna like make your head spin. So sorry, I had to eat something really fast. Um, so I have the Death card representing you, and I have the Ten of Swords and the Empress representing her. Do you know what that is? Those are the exact same things. One for you, one for her. Not to mention, it is the Emperor and Empress in this reading. I have only pulled 4 cards so far, and the Emperor and the Empress are here, and that is very rare. And when it happens, I always tell you guys. So, what it's telling me is that you are undergoing a huge transformation, and so is she. Individually. And then together, you guys are leveling up your connection. What do you want him to know? What does your team want him to know? It seems like her team communicates differently than your team does. I feel like your team communicates to her team really well. They have good communication. But when you're specifically calling out her team, it feels like a different energy coming in. It feels more feminine, I guess you could say. It feels more emotionally open. It feels more like, I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like your team is very matter of fact. And I feel like her team is like soft and ethereal and open and feminine and all of that. And actually, I'm going to send you a picture of my cards because this is actually kind of crazy. And I want you to see what I'm seeing. But I literally have you transforming, her transforming, and then together, your connection is about to start. So basically, what I would take from this is that you guys are about to enter a new phase of your relationship. There is a new beginning, a new start coming in your connection. I'm actually going to send you this picture real quick. You'll have to turn it sideways because I didn't edit it. I just took it horizontally. But you'll see what I mean. The Death card is the same as the Ten of Swords. The Emperor is the same as the Empress. And in the center, you have the Ace of Cups. You're welcome, SB. You're going to be next, and I'll pull those messages for you, okay? Are you sticking around? I definitely feel like I'm changing. No, matter of fact, today she posted a video like at a beach with a caption that she grew up with the beach in her backyard and she wants her kids to experience that. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, SB, that's fine if you want to add to your reading. Totally. Yeah, IJ, this is like powerful, powerful stuff here in this reading. I feel, and I keep pulling cards. I'm like, tell me something else. What else do I need to know? And I feel like it's like your patience is paying off. Your trust and faith in your connection is paying off. You, IJ, don't feel desperate at all when it comes to her, right? You have just like this inner knowing. So you're just like, all right, it's going to happen when it's going to happen, and I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to rush it. And that unattached mindset brings things in so much quicker for you because it means that you're in a place of attracting. And think about it. I've mentioned this before, but it's like, okay, if you were out in the wild and a bear was chasing you, you would run from it. You run from things that are chasing you. So you don't want to be an energy of desperation because that means you're chasing, and that means that thing that you're chasing is never going to come towards you because it's like running away. But if you stand there, don't act attached, you act accepting and open and embracing. Think about if you're in the wild and like there's a deer or something like that, and or a butterfly lands on you, or a bumblebee, or like a deer comes near you and eats out of your hand or something like that. That is a magical experience. And what that's showing is that you're keeping your energy high, and you are attracting. So those things are not running away from you. They're wanting to come close to you, be near you, be in that energy. So what I feel, I guess, is an additional message here for you, IJ, is just be ready, be prepared. This is happening for you. Things are changing for you. Things are going to be crazy, but good. And it's all because of this mindset that you've had and this patience you've had, because I have the temperance card here. You're allowing for that balance to come in, and therefore fusion. Reminds me of what you mentioned about us planning in dreams and it playing out. Also, about less than a month ago, I had a thought of calling myself and acting as Emperor IJ. She's the Empress. In one offline read, you did. Oh, a crown for you. I kind of remember that. I'm ready. I'm ready for my new life. I'm excited for you. I'm excited to hear like how things go. I think that's really all they want to show you right now. But I see like you walking away from this chapter. Like this chapter is closing for you, Eight of Cups here. And you guys are really starting something big. I also cut the deck and I have the Lovers. So that's telling me that things are clearing away. That means you're doing your work, she's doing her work. And I think big changes are up ahead for your connection. Awesome. All right, SB, let's work on yours. Anybody that's waiting on their donations, if you guys want to add to your reading, that's fine. I'm just not going to take any new orders. Said I'm fine with that if that's all I have. Yeah, and I think that's a pretty big message anyways. So like that's not a message I've ever given to you before. So I don't think it doesn't feel like that I have. So I think that that's just really what they want you to focus on. Just like keep doing what you've been doing, really. No critiques, no advice. You're welcome, IJ. Stay safe, stay warm, stay dry, take care of yourself, and I'm sure we'll talk soon. Okay, so this is for SB. We have already completed part of her reading, but we are going to finish it out now online. So, SB, I have an in-depth for you first, I believe, and then we'll pull some channeled messages for you from the channeled message deck. Wow, 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 wow. Beautiful energy. You've had, by the way, SB, you've had the Page of Wands come through in every single reading I've done for you tonight. He must really like your unique individuality, and you must really like who he is. I feel this date talks about adventure, but we'll dig into that in a minute. The first card out, you're welcome. The first card out is the Ten of Pentacles. So I think you guys are just vibing. I think this might even be the date where you guys, I don't know, start planning a little bit more into the future. I think this is kind of like the date where things kind of sink in and you guys decide to kind of like lock it in. Now, I don't necessarily mean that you guys become official or anything. Maybe, I don't know. But I feel like this is where you really walk away from this date going, yeah, he's for sure the only one I'm interested in. And then he feels the same way. So the 10 of Pentacles is like this feeling of after the date or during the date, like I want this person to be in my life for the unforeseeable future. You know what I mean? Like I feel like this card indicates like long term, long lasting. Like this is the card where you're kind of like, yeah, I really want to keep seeing this person. Like I don't see a time in which I would ever want this to end. And that's kind of what goes on that date. And, a good rule of thumb for me whenever I was dating people is that if something happened, a fight, an argument, something went down, something that felt like we couldn't get past it, or I was getting bored, or I wasn't like thinking, I wasn't feeling aligned in the relationship, whatever the reason was, is if I ever had a thought to myself that I could see a day in which I didn't want this person in my life anymore, I always knew that was the day I should break things off. And to this day, that has been my rule of thumb. It has never steered me wrong. And I've known my current relationship with my husband, I've known that there's not a single day where I could ever really picture him not being in my life without like it absolutely being devastating to me to think of that. And so I feel like that's a good rule of thumb. And so I want to tell you, SB, that with this card, with that energy, that's the card of him saying, I like this girl. And I think that, like, she's so cool. She's amazing. And, like, I can't ever see a day where I wouldn't want to hang out with her. I wouldn't want to spend time with her. I wouldn't want her in my life. And I feel like, in a sense, even if you guys don't become official, that that's still big. That's still like a pretty huge and special thing for him to think about you and also you to feel about him. So maybe we're not locking it down, but we're locking it in. We're kind of going, yeah, this is the person that I want to keep spending time with. And like, I feel pretty certain about that, if not confidently certain about that. I also feel like the date probably embodies like a lot of fun. I feel like you guys have, for whatever reason, I just keep getting a lot of fun together. Like there's energy, it's lively, maybe even creative. Maybe you guys are thinking of like creative ways to hang out, always doing something new or different. Even if it's like the same thing you've done before, you're doing it in a different way or you're doing it in a different place, if that makes sense. There's always like this element of anything can happen and I'm just excited to see how it goes. So I think that that's kind of like the vibe of the date. I also have the Four of Wands here. You guys might be leveling up, SB. Would this sound crazy for you guys to like, I don't know. I feel like things might be taken to the next level, whatever that means for you, whatever that would mean. So, if you guys have just had some platonic dates with some flirting and like chemistry, maybe you guys haven't kissed yet or something like that, maybe that would be the leveling up, is where there's like now physical affection being demonstrated. Um, maybe something like that. Maybe saying, oh, we're gonna be boyfriend, girlfriend, official might seem like a little too much right now. But there's something here with the Four of Wands that's indicating that things feel like they've been taken to the next level, emotionally, physically, relationship wise, something like that. You want to go to a Halloween event with him, dress up. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. Um, yeah, that would be a lot of fun. So I think you guys are, I can't believe we're in October. Like, not only are we in October, I can't believe we're like almost halfway through it. Like, it doesn't feel spooky to me yet. I don't know what's going on, but I just don't feel the spooky vibes. I think I have to go to Spirit or something. I don't know what it is about this year. It just doesn't feel spooky enough yet for me. But yeah, SB, like it feels like there's something that really feels like it's shifting forward. And this could be something as simple as something he says to you makes you really feel like, okay, yeah, this is progressing. So keeping that in mind, that is the vibe that I have for you. Let me know if you have any questions about this. Awesome. Okay. So I'm shuffling for you now. We're going to pull some message cards for you. Next up after SB, I have A Jazz. A Jazz, if you're in here and you want to check in with me, feel free. So SB, I feel like he's saying like I was not expecting you. Like meeting you just completely like broke my world open in ways that couldn't predict, I couldn't expect. It's in good ways, but I almost feel like he kind of was on this path of like what his plans were, and then somehow you came in and you were like, actually you're gonna want me now. And like I know that there was kind of some things that were going on in the beginning, but I think that was maybe his needing to come to terms with the fact that there is something there between you guys, and like he had to work that out. I think that basically he just wasn't planning for you, he wasn't expecting you, and I think that your connection is what it is. And I think that you know what I'm talking about. And I feel like sometimes when we're not expecting something, it can kind of make us feel a little, what is the word, unstable. But once we can accept it, um, I feel like then we can say, you know what? The plans aren't the plans that we had, but they're even better. And so I feel like for him, it may be possible that he wasn't like mentally ready for a connection as strong as he had with you or something. And maybe that took some time for him to wrap his head around it. But at the end of the day, he goes, but I crave her energy. Like I want to be around her. And so like even though this may be not be what I had planned for myself, it's what the greater plan is, and I want to keep seeing it through. So that could be a little bit why there was like some bumps in the well, not bumps in the beginning, but like you know what I mean. There was a little turbulence there for a minute, but in the end, at the end of the day, he's like, but this is like what I'm looking for. This is what I wanted. You know what I mean? And so like I just needed to accept that. Let's see. Ooh, he actually says he's feeling a physical connection with you right now. He's feeling physical attraction to you right now. He's saying I'm sorry I refused past tense to let you get close to me. I didn't mean to hurt you. So there is some like apology here where he's kind of like, can we hit the reset button? Like I wish that I didn't go about things the way that I did. I feel like that it was unnecessary. Like it wasn't really something that needed to happen, but I just couldn't like I don't know. He's just like, I wish if I could go back and know what I know now, I wouldn't have done what I did kind of thing. But he's like, but it is what it is. It happened. But I'm sorry about that. Like, I wish that didn't happen. I wish maybe he's just thinking to himself, like, he wants you to know that there is interest there. If that's something that you would want, that's something that he would explore with you. I don't know if you've drawn like a line in the sand with him, SB, in terms of like going, oh, I just want to be friends. But I think that maybe that's, I don't know, because I have like, it feels like the ball is in your court. So I'm wondering if maybe he's just waiting for a signal from you that like you would be willing to take this further if that happened. Did you tell him that? I'm not sure. You don't have to tell me that answer to that, but think about that in your mind. Does he feel like he's completely friend zoned, or do you think that he has an idea that there could be something more? Because I feel like he's thinking in his head, she said let's just hang out, let's just be friends, let's not put pressure on ourselves kind of thing. But I think in his mind, he's going, but like, is her mind changing about this? Or like, what is she thinking? Is she going to be the one to make a move? Is she going to decide what happens here? That kind of thing. He says, you compliment me. So I'm getting two things from that. One, literally, you give him compliments, he appreciates and notices. But more so, I feel like he's saying we go well together. We're very compatible. You are like the yin to my yang. You complement me well. I think that he's getting to the point where he does not want to be friend zoned, I feel. Um, I think at first that sounded good to him because for whatever reason, maybe like he was blocked in that way, but I feel like it's not something that he's wanting every day that this continues. I feel like his mind is changing on that, or like his stance is changing. He says, you feel like home to me. Our connection scares me. I think about you often. I think you're the one. I don't know what to do. Yeah, there's definitely some fear that coincides with this connection. Like I'm almost getting from him claircognizantly like she could be the one that could wreck me. Like she could be the one that could really hurt me. She has that potential. Like this connection has that potential to really hurt me. And I don't think that he always thought that way. I think this is something that's changing as you guys are spending more time together. He feels like you guys are aligning, but he still doesn't think it's quite the time yet to make any drastic changes in your connection. So you guys are on the same page with that. He wants to just keep like moving forward at this pace. He says, "Can we start over?" One more card, please. This isn't in your head. I feel it too. So that is what I have for you, SB. Ajaz, if you're in here, please check in. He said, not completely, but I did mention it. And he said, oh, am I a side piece now? See what I mean? This boy, you're getting him like, I don't know. I think he's getting a little hooked on you a little bit. I really do. You definitely want to eventually ease into love. This is just easier for you. Okay, cool. Well, SB, I think when it comes to him, be direct. He really likes that about you. So the second that you're feeling like you want to move in on some new territory with him, make the move because, as he said, he feels like the ball is in your court. Okay? Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Yay! You're very welcome. Let me see. Did Jazz leave a question with me? I'm getting so hungry. Oh my gosh. All right. So I don't think she's here. Let's move on. And I don't think she left her question with me either. James, is James in the chat still? Hey James, I'm gonna get started on your channeling right now. Wow, this was actually pretty enlightening, James. We kind of like hit the iceberg a bit, I feel, recently on your last offline reading that we did, in terms of like her wanting or feeling the need for toxicity in a relationship. The issue is that I have, or not issue that I have. Well, I guess it's an issue that I have technically, but the enlightenment that I'm getting is that she needs to feel like jealous to feel like she's in love or something. She's confusing healthy relationships with trust versus jealousy and love. So she says, I have been preoccupied lately just working on things that have been consuming a lot of my time. I have some new ideas and inspiration that has been coming through. I kind of went MIA a little. I've been hyper focused on certain things. I know I'm flaky, been keeping you at a distance a bit. I don't know what my issue is, but I keep going back and forth trying to understand my feelings for you and what I want from this. Sometimes I get jealous, so I know there's something between us, but I don't always feel that jealousy, so it just confuses me. And so, with that being said, it feels like to me that she's in this place of equating a jealous feeling with being in love with you. And because she's saying that sometimes she feels jealous and sometimes she doesn't, she can't process her feelings for you because she thinks that it should be something fiery and attached and unhealthy. And that is something that she's clearly going to have to work through, because that's not, you shouldn't feel jealous if there's trust. Like, you can be territorial, you can be protective, but you really shouldn't feel jealous if you feel like you can trust the intentions of your partner. And if that person is giving you everything that you need to not feel jealous. But I think, James, I think you actually make her feel too secure, so she doesn't feel jealousy because she feels trust, and therefore she doesn't think she's in love with you. That is the kind of the mind fuck that I just went through with this channeling. So, yeah. Hey, Amy, thanks for checking in. Oh, okay. I messaged you on Instagram because I wasn't sure if you were still here or not. Yeah, it is, but it just goes to show her trauma, you know. It just goes to show like what her problems are that she has to work through. So I think that she's like, do I love him? Am I in love with him? Because I don't feel jealous all the time because he makes me feel secure that he cares for me, but I should feel jealous, right? Like, I feel like that's what she's wanting. And, you know, we kind of like tipped the iceberg, I guess, or whatever the expression is, the last time, but I feel like I got more information. The feeling specifically is jealousy for her. Like, that's what she thinks. She thinks that if she feels that, then that's being in love with someone. But you really don't want to feel that feeling. You want to feel like your person wants you and only you and no one else, and you're everything to them. That feeling of security, that is true love. All right, let's shuffle for your love too. So there are blocks. She does not feel at liberty to no, she just doesn't feel liberation, James. There is a block for her to speak how she feels. This is the thing with her. Interestingly, I'm kind of getting a dynamic between my husband and her right now. Because I did his aura reading yesterday. I was like just messing around, and his throat chakra is blocked. So he's talkative, he's outgoing, he knows how to be funny, he's a jokester. But when it comes to like vocalizing his feelings, like being vulnerable in that way, it's like locked up. Like it's almost like he becomes mute. It's like hard for him. It's like it's it's like, okay, so we have like this weird telepathic connection. It's almost like I can hear his brain, like I can hear what he's thinking, and but he's like getting the words out is just so difficult, and it's like this vulnerability of like it doesn't feel natural saying these things in this way, and so I have to like fill in the blanks for him sometimes. And I feel like Patty is that way. I feel like she has no problem standing up for herself. She has no problem speaking her mind. But when it comes to feeling actually liberated to communicate with you and be vulnerable with you, that's hard. And I think that you have seen that vulnerability in her, but I think it's not easy for her. And I feel like she feels blocked in liberation. That's the specific word that they're telling me right now. She feels mentally blocked. She feels sacrally blocked. She feels blocked in her throat chakra, blocked in her heart. Like, but it's a block that is equal to liberation. She does not feel free in her body. She does not feel free in herself to express herself without, abandon or with no abandon or whatever the word is, the expression. Like she does not feel sexually liberated. She does not feel vulnerability, like liberty to be vulnerable. She does not feel at liberty to feel deeply. Like she's very, very locked up. She's very, very stoic. And so, I was like, is there a block here? Yes. It's this feeling of like she can't get to fulfillment. She can't get to liberation. She can't fully let herself just become fully and naturally and embody like who she is entirely. It's like for instance, James, I feel like if you got an energy read on her, they would be like she's only in her body like 30%, if that makes sense. Like I feel like she's not fully present. She's not fully here. She's always like off somewhere else in her own world of her own making and things like that. And so it's like she's having a hard time making that soul body connection or something like that. So she does not feel fully liberated to be herself and be vulnerable and be free. And she doesn't feel that connection with her own self. It's very interesting. Um, so yeah, that's kind of what's going on there. Um, the overall energy, we have the magician. So the magician is kind of reminding me of the emperor right now because it's kind of indicating to me, James, that it's like this is really up to you. This is like your authority over the connection. Um, this is her authority over the connection. This is a free will connection right now. So it's not indicating to me that um, how do I put this? I think the result of this connection is dependent on your actions. So, James, as we've mentioned before, like putting her in her place, being very direct with her, you ignoring her text, these things to kind of balance out that power dynamic between you guys is only going to benefit your relationship. So, Spirit is saying just be very mindful of your actions towards her at this time. Thoughts and feelings towards you. The Four of Cups indicates like apathy. So this indicates to me that she's going to act very indifferent with you. She's going to make you feel like she doesn't care either way. Um, I think she's kind of in denial as well in terms of your connection, James. I think she's not wanting to admit that you have a greater purpose in her life than you do. I think she's being very stubborn right now. Um, because I have the Seven of Wands in the world. It's like every sign is pointing to if you want to be happy and you want to have a healthy relationship and you want to feel in love and you want to feel cared for and all this stuff, all signs point to James, but like you're too scared to go there. You're like in denial about it or something. Because she's keeps fighting. And what's so crazy to me is it's like she's fighting for her life to not be with you. But subconsciously she feels that's where she's going to end up. And it's like, why are you fighting for like fighting against happiness? Why are you fighting against stability? Why are you fighting against love? And again, that is something that's going on with her that she has to work through. I do think you're going to continue to hear from her. It'll be this intermittent thing. Sometimes when I refer to readings and I talk about your communication styles or the way in which you're going to communicate, the metaphor of like service breaking up. So I think you're going to hear from her sometimes, and then sometimes the connection will break, and then you're going to hear from her again, and then the connection will break. It's almost like very choppy service. It's like not a clear connection right now. That's okay, Jazz. I have you down for a mini, and you'll be next after James. I've got your question. If you end up falling asleep, Jazz, I'm going to do your reading no matter what, okay? And you can just come back and listen. Yes, Amy. So I think that's part of an issue that he has had with her, is her trauma bonds to other people. And there's a struggle here. You're welcome, Jazz. There's a struggle here for her. It's like it's like she doesn't want to let herself be happy. It's like she doesn't want to let herself feel love, like that. It's just weird. I don't really know how to explain it further than that, but it's like she's fighting for her life. Like some people are fighting for their life to feel love, to get loved, to have that special person, and it's like she's the opposite. But deep down inside, subconsciously, she's going, I think I am supposed to end up there with him. Like, I think I am supposed to be with him at some point. But it's like she's fighting against it right now. All right, so James, you asked if you're meant to be together romantically, and I am getting a yes. This is the Chariot. This is Cancer energy. This is like everything that's underneath the surface, the things that are hidden, the things that we are feeling deep down that we know inherently are true to be true. It also indicates like victory and overcoming obstacles and success at the end. So that's what I'm getting for that question. But I'm going to break up what will bring Patty and you together romantically as BOGO 1, and then what your purpose together is as BOGO 2. But because you asked the last question, I wanted to make sure I gave you an answer for that. So we're going to tap into first what will bring you and Patty together romantically. Amy, yes. Thriving in the chaos, yes. So that's actually a reading that I did recently for him. And I kind of got that exact message. So the first thing is coming through, James, is that there has to be this like willful determination, like if she can't do it, then you can. And it's difficult. This is difficult because I feel like it's not advice that I'd want to give to you because I feel on the surface that it's not good advice. But we are talking from a spiritual standpoint. We are talking, this isn't like advice you would get from a therapist, okay? A therapist is basing their counsel off of reality. I try to do that too, but at the same time, I'm tapping into something more, bigger, greater, that kind of thing. And so I feel conflicted because I want to say to you, move on, date someone else, go for it. Like, just let Patty do her thing. Why? Because we have no guarantee that Patty's ever going to get her shit together. That's why. That's why I want to advise you to just forget about it. But in the context of your question, what will bring you together romantically? It is your determination. You're determined to be with her. Your determination to make this work, your determination to love her despite whatever is going on between you guys, that is what will bring you together romantically. Because that consistency, that like knowing, that gut feeling that you have, like that is what. Because here's the thing, James, you're the only one believing right now. And if you give up on that, then who's gonna believe in it? I think you guys would eventually go your own separate ways. So spiritually, your determination is what's going to bring you guys together. You're not giving up. You're believing in the connection. And I don't want to say wearing her down, but in a sense, wearing her down. Like her finally coming to the acceptance that, like, why have I been pushing this man away from me all this time? Duh, it's been right in front of me all along. That determination. But as someone who is trying to do a reading based in reality, I also know at the same time that if she doesn't do the work, that's never going to happen. Like, not in this lifetime, at least. And we have no guarantees that she's going to, like do the work, do the hard part, you know? And even if she does, like, we don't know, is it a year from now? Is it a couple months? Is it 5 years? Like, we don't know. So this is the part where I feel very conflicted, and I think this is where I have to say, James, this is up to you. This is really what you make it, what you decide to do with this, because I can't make that decision for you. But they are saying you being persistent, you persevering, you being determined, you not giving up, you know, despite maybe all of the facts telling you to walk away. It's like you're wanting to find compromise, wanting to see this for the both of you. No matter what you've been through, you just keep going and trying to see a different perspective and trying to tap into your intuition. Page of Wands, High Priestess. Like, that is what's going to bring you guys together. And of course, it does rely on her own work that she does. But if you want to know what's going to make this a higher chance for guarantee, that right there, it's just who you are as a person, being like, I'm not giving up. So there's that. Let's shuffle for your purpose together. Amy said wild. I swear, Luna, sometimes we end up saying it is wild. I know, it is crazy. Well, I think, Amy, too, like, it's a part of your learning process as well. But the funny thing is that, you know, we all have the ability to read. We all have the ability to tap in. We do it differently. but we all have a way to like connect in that way. And so maybe Amy being a part of these live streams so often and like listening to the readings and working on your own self, it's like maybe you are getting closer to being a reader yourself if you wanted to be, or something along those lines, you know, because your intuition is telling you the same thing that mine is telling me. It means that we're connecting to the same divine guidance, if that makes sense. All right, what is their purpose together? I didn't realize it was 12:30. I gotta roll. Oh man. All right, so I've got 3 minis left after this BOGO for James. I have Jazz's question. Amy, if you want to drop your question for me, and Smiley, if you want to drop your question for me, I've got to get going. And I've only got about 30 minutes or so to get y'all's readings done. So if you want to drop your question. Yeah, you're going to get better intuition, Amy. You just got to keep working at it. It's like a muscle, you know? It's a matter of like being open and trusting yourself, and then tapping into like what you feel most like natural to do or to feel or to think or whatever. Smiley. Yeah, I believe what you're saying about the determination. I feel like it's a part of my soul journey. Yeah, James. I mean, look, that's why I'm not ever going to sugarcoat it, and I'm never going to tell you what to do, you know? And I understand that, like, I can offer spiritual advice, but, like, we're half soul, you know, in a sense, because we're also physical form. We're a human being. And so there's a huge part of ourselves that wants to be in reality and a huge part of ourselves that wants to be in spirit. And I feel like sometimes each person is different, you know, sometimes it fluctuates, sometimes it's balanced, sometimes it's more in the ether, and sometimes it's more in the physical. And that dichotomy, it makes it hard as like a reader to advise. So really all I can say is like what I'm seeing, and hope that that gives you enough information to make the best choice for yourself. You said, and that's about standing in your truth and knowingness, even if everyone's against you. Yeah, I'm a life path. Oh, we've talked about this. I'm a life path 7. Amy, I have your question. Thank you. Smiley, I am saving everything you're typing right now. So, James, I do have the Ace of Cups here, which talks about love and a new beginning in love. So, your purpose is to love each other. Your purpose is to express emotions to each other, to connect on an emotional level. This also talks about like falling in love as well as a life purpose. It indicates the need um, to be okay with things not going exactly how you planned it. As long as the destination is what you're wanting, then maybe all the details before that aren't going to go exactly as planned, but you'll end up where you feel you're going to end up. It's like a test of true endurance and a test of true patience, 7 of Pentacles. So I think that maybe part of your purpose with her, part of what she's challenging you about is kind of what you mentioned, like the knowingness, the being convicted in what you feel and what you think is going to happen, and trying to trust yourself. And she's challenging you to believe in yourself and believe in what you're feeling, going against the grain, not non-conforming to what other people would expect of you. I think that's part of your individual purpose, considering the lifestyle that you lead and your career and things. But I think also she's challenging you to trust yourself. She's trusting, like, you have this knowingness within you, that you guys are supposed to be together, but you also feel this resistance by her and by everyone else. So I think that that's partly it. I think also understanding that things aren't going to go exactly the way that you want them to go, and needing to be comfortable with that and okay with that. Also, patience. She's teaching you patience. I think that your influence and your presence in her life does make her more curious about herself. I think as she's coming through as the page, is that you're here to teach her things, not in a mansplaining kind of way, but in a your presence in her life creates these like feelings of needing to work on herself. Like like your influence, you being who you are in her life, it impacts her to make these decisions for herself. So I don't mean like you're saying as an authority figure, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. I just mean you lead by example. She sees you doing things with your life. She sees you thinking a certain way and being a certain way, and that inspires her then kind of like a muse to like make these changes in her own life. And so it's almost like leading by example, not directly telling her what to do, but you're here to kind of teach her and be like this wisdom for her sometimes. But yeah, those are like the big three things that I'm seeing. Also, maybe you're here as like a key, because for some reason I'm seeing like a key and a lock. And I remember when I was talking about her liberation and like her freedom and her need to like free herself, is that maybe you are a key piece to that liberation, because if her freedom is locked, maybe you're the key metaphorically, in a sense, to help her understand how to open that door to make herself feel like she can be fully herself. I'm kind of getting this message too, James, that like she feels judgment very harshly. I feel that's probably why she is the way that she is. Like her, well, I say her personality, the way that she presents herself to the world, the way that she wants the world to see her. And I think that she judges herself pretty harshly. And so she kind of hides. She tries to find ways to hide how much people can see of herself. And maybe you're here to kind of show her that it doesn't really matter, like what, how she presents herself, that you can see through that. Like, it doesn't matter what she looks like, how she dresses, like, all that stuff, like appearance based, because I think she hides a little bit. So, maybe you're here to show her unconditional love and just be like, I don't give a fuck. Like, you could look like a dragon for all I care and I would still love you. So there's a lot here. But yeah, these are some of the purposes that I'm picking up right now. So Smiley, I'm doing a follow-up from my yes no question. I recently blocked him because he said he's doing things. You've been so good. Kind of over it and blocked him, but okay, so for your follow-up, is there like a specific question that you wanted me to look into? I know that you're like following up on that, but like, what is it that you specifically are wanting from this reading? Do you just want like an energy check-in? Do you want to know like where his head is at right now? Okay, guys. James, so that is what I have for you. You said you're speaking everything I felt for so long. Aww. I'm glad that I can confirm that for you. All right, so this is the order. Ajaz, actually, no, you're next. So we have Ajaz, then we have Amy, and then we have Smiley, and then I've got to go. I'm posting the order right now. All right, Ajaz, Amy, Smiley. There we go. That's the list right now, and that's the order. You said you beautifully articulated. You're gonna make me cry. I'm so happy. I'm glad. I'm glad, James. I'm happy to hear that. Nobody else really sees it or understands and is like, just walk away. Yeah. That's like the tough part, I feel. It's like if you don't feel it, you don't get it, you don't understand it. And I'm sorry that other people are like, just leave, just leave. I mean, from an outside perspective, I have felt that way. Like I'm just like, just James, just leave, just go. But when you feel that someone is a part of your life purpose, that's not really something that's easy to walk away from because you feel like there's still unfinished business and like easier said than done. And I also understand that. All right, Ajaz, this is for you, friend. What are Dawn's true intentions with you? She's a Leo. Smiley. Okay, perfect. You said where's his head at? Is he going to attempt a connection? I got you, Smiley. All right. What are Dom's true intentions with Ajaz? What are Dom's true intentions with Ajaz? Okay, so Ajaz, Dom has a lack of direction right now. She's kind of taking a pause at the moment when it comes to you. So this could indicate I have the Knight of Pentacles on one side, the Knight of Swords on the other. I do feel like communication will come back in for you with her. I just don't, I can't say for sure like how quickly. She's here with the hangman in the center of the knights on both sides. So I do feel like she feels you waiting on her. Um, but the hangman says that she's feeling a lack of direction. She doesn't really know what she wants from this connection with you. And I think that she feels kind of stuck or stumped or something along those lines. There's parts of her that really likes your groundedness, likes your I don't know, maybe you're the type of person who like you would be the type of person in a relationship that would be like checking in with the person every day, good morning, good night kind of person. Like she could rely on you essentially to be very consistent. Whereas I feel like she's kind of all over the place. And these energies are kind of fighting each other. You guys are on the same page in a lot of areas, but I feel like personalities are kind of clashing a little bit. And when I say clashing, I don't mean you're arguing. That could be an interpretation, but I more so mean like it's just not meshing very well, the type of person that you are versus the type of person that she is. And I feel like the thing is that the connection is strong with Dom for you. She just doesn't know, like, is this a viable option, I guess, because maybe she's like, are we too different? And the hangman here is just saying that she's needing some perspective. She's feeling a lack of direction. She does not want you to think she's completely walked away, but I think she feels paralyzed at this point in what to do. She might even be like seeking counsel, communicating with like her friends about this or something like that. um, let's see. What are her true intentions? What are true intentions? I have her here as a stalemate. She's the Two of Swords right now. So there's a positive way you could look at this or a negative way. It really just depends on who you are as a person. She's not fully in this, but she hasn't walked away. So take that however you will. Will she communicate with Ajaz? Has she made this decision? When can she expect to hear from her? All right, so how long has it been, Ajaz? If it's been a couple weeks, you probably are looking at a couple more. But if it's just been a few days, I think that you'll hear from her. What's today? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I think you'll hear from her by the weekend. If it's only been a day or two without communication or limited communication. But if this has been going on for a couple weeks, I still think you have a couple more weeks to wait. The wands, I got the 3 of wands. So the wands are days to weeks, but when we're pulling timing, we also have to see what is realistic. So Spirit is saying it kind of matches the amount of time that you guys haven't been talking. So that's why I asked that question. And you don't have to answer me, like if you don't want to, but just know that if it's been only a couple of days since you talked to her, it'll be just a couple more. It's been a day or two, but she still watches my IG story. Okay, I hope she comes back soon because I paid her for a painting. Oh shit, that's crazy. Yeah, this weekend I think is when you're gonna hear from her. By this weekend. That's what I'm getting. 3 of wands here. Do you have any follow-up question for me? Okay, let's see. Yeah, because I was actually going to tell you I don't think you should let this be up to her, honestly. Is Ajaz wasting her time? Should she walk away? So Ajaz, they're saying that you're not going to get the recognition that you deserve in this connection. I think there's just not enough compatibility here in terms of who you are as a person. Is there chemistry? Is there like a connection? Absolutely. But I feel like there's not enough compatibility. I think there's like, I don't know. I keep getting very strongly you guys are just two different people. And none of it's bad. Like she is who she is. You're who you are. You know, you appreciate those things in one another, but in terms of like a connection, it's kind of hard. And I feel here with the 6 of wands and the 3 of swords that Spirit is saying you're not going to ever get the full recognition that you're looking for in this connection. You know, so it might be a okay for now situation, but I don't know if this is something long term. I do think though that this person is going to be coming in and out of your life though, periodically. Like I feel like until you cut this person off or until you enter a serious relationship with someone else, you will continue to have intermittent relations or communication with this person. Because I have the 6 of cups, which indicates the energy around the relationship is like reunions, reconnecting, reconciling, that kind of thing. But ultimately, I don't think you're going to feel as fulfilled as you think you should in a connection. You're not going to get that recognition that you feel that you should be getting, as long as you get your painting. So yeah, that's what I've got, Jazz. All right, so let's take a look at Amy. Let me pull yours up real quick. All right, Amy is next. And then after Amy is Smiley, and then I gotta run. You're welcome, Jazz. All right, how do your kids' parents? Amy, by the way, this this person, you got somebody, and I know I've said it before and I have not thought about it until just now, but you got this like person that's taking interest in you, and I feel like as I mentioned before, they are the dad, the uncle, the older brother, something along these lines to one of these kids, and I feel like there's some interest being taken. um, I honestly think this is how you meet your next person. I'm not even kidding. I think you meet your next. It could even be a mentor to your students. So like it could be another faculty member. It could be like a counselor or something like that. Um, but there's something connected to the children in your school with this person, and I think this is how you meet them. So I'm letting you know that's coming through again. If it's a male teacher. Yeah, it's like it's giving like mentor, guardian, like big brother, big sister vibes. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm getting from this person. Like someone who offers advice, who watches out for the child, like who's leading, guiding the child. Is this male teacher cute? Let's see, let's see. You have an air sign in your classroom. This person talks about you a lot. You are brought up to their parent quite a bit. It's the Fool energy. So this is like air signs specifically. It doesn't really have like a zodiac sign associated with that, but it is saying like an air sign. The Fool can also indicate maybe one of the youngest kids in your class or the youngest kid in your class. Um, so I think this is like a lower level grade, but I feel like this kid is always bringing you up to their parents. Let's see. How are they speaking? How's this kid speaking about her? How's this kid speaking about her? Really, really, really well. This is a positive thing. So they're not complaining about you or anything. I have the Knight of Cups. So they're basically talking about how you like are so nice and you're like so fun, and like I'm trying to think of like adjectives that a kid would provide with the Knight of Cups. Like um I don't know why I'm picking up boy energy. Again, I'm not picking up feminine energy. It could be. But the reason I'm picking up boy energy is just because I feel like this kid really looks up to you, and um like you know how like little kids, they don't have actual crushes on teacher, not like being weird or anything, but it's like they kind of have this like affinity for that teacher. They're like really like look to them to be like that maternal figure, that one that they go to, the one that they like, the one that they think is really pretty, like that kind of vibe. You know how like they have studies that it's like babies like pretty people, and I don't know even know how they figured that out, but they say like if a baby looks at you and smiles, they think you're a very attractive person or a very attractive energy. It's kind of like that with this kid. It's like this kid is looking at you as like just such a special aura, you know, like a special energy about you. And I think that's why they're saying such nice things. It's like they like being around you, they like what you teach them or when you hang out with them. Um, if this kid might really like doing art, like because this is talking about some type of emotional expression, so this kid might like drawing, painting, something like that, something artistic, I feel. But yeah, that's kind of the vibe. And so like I feel like if you talk to this parent, they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, they talk about you all the time, yada yada yada," and you're gonna be like, "Oh, hopefully it's all good things." Like, yeah, totally, they bring you up every single day. That's the kind of vibe. But I'm getting it's one kid in particular, air sign, and probably one of the younger grades. But overall, I feel like the parents look at you as very competent. Specifically, I'm getting like very compatible, very compromising, like all the C words. You work really, really well. Like you fit in well, you go well. They look at you as someone who's willing to work as a team. So if you have been having any issues that you needed to talk to the parents about, they would look at you as someone who wants to work with them to help their child. Like you're here to help, you're here to serve. You just want to do what's right for them and what's right for their kid. And like I think that they feel like you're a really good fit. I think also communicating with you, they would see like how much you care and how important it is to help give those children like a solid foundation and stability when they're with you, and also maybe even give them like nuggets of wisdom to carry with them in their life as they grow up. So I think they really like you, Amy. I think what they've seen so far they enjoy. I do think that there are certain parents that would like to get to know you better, but that may just not be you singling you out specifically. That just might be feel like wanting to have more of a relationship with their child, with the people that are taking care of their kids, you know? So like the other caretakers or teachers or whatever it is you like your title is, they might feel this way, not just with you, but with other teachers wanting to have more of a working relationship. You know what I mean? You said you haven't been able to see him up close, just about a few feet away. He's not bad looking. Well, you'll have to see if he's giving you any glances. But yeah, that's what I've got, friends. I hope you enjoyed your reading with me. We're gonna go ahead and pull up for Smiley now, and then I am signing off. All right, so Smiley says, I'm doing a follow up for my yes no question. I recently blocked him because he studied doing things I asked him not to, and I thought we were so perfect. Even the cards he pulled confirmed my feeling. We've been so, so good. I do remember that, Smiley. I do remember that my cards were indicating like a great match for you. We've been so good. He comes to visit, but when he gets home, it's like we get into it every week for the past 4 to 5 weeks. I'm kind of over it. But you really like him a lot. Okay. So, question for you, Smiley. Like, is it the distance that's hard for you guys? Like, how far away are you guys? Like, out of like a big distance where you guys go like long periods of time without seeing each other? Because I do feel like that's playing a factor here. Um, You said you're still sitting here wondering if it's a male teacher. Okay, Amy, you'll have to do a reading with me tomorrow about it. Have a good night. I see, Smiley, that there is kind of like a little bit of insecurity within this connection. Um, I feel like he's trying to be like I'm the man, like I'm gonna lead kind of thing. He is showing up still as really good boyfriend, husband material, which is interesting. But I also feel like there could be a power struggle because what's happening is you're not feeling heard, you're not feeling seen, and the things that are important to you. It's like you think something's going to work or something's going to change, and then for whatever reason, it seems like he's not coming through for you. He's letting you down. He's disappointing you in some way. And that's becoming like a bigger issue. Um, but I also feel like there could be some insecurity. Oh, every weekend. That's awesome. I do feel like there could be some insecurity because you guys have not established like a really solid foundation with each other because for whatever reason, it just doesn't feel as grounded. I think how you get stability is through consistency. So what this is telling me is that you don't feel he's been consistent enough with you. I think that's part of the problem. Because you're looking for him to be consistent. You're looking for him to do what he's going to do, say what he's going to do. follow through with these things that you're asking of him. And because you aren't seeing it in full, like constant, consistently, you are losing trust. You are losing that feeling of security. So then that starts to provoke other conversations that can turn into disagreements. So I think that's like one of the biggest things is that he has to understand that there are certain things at this point of your relationship, and it may not always be this way, but right now there are things that you need that are non-negotiables, and if he wants to make this work with you, then this is what he's going to have to do. And if he cannot, then it might be a relationship that's just not compatible at this time. I feel like part of it is that you don't get to see him as often as you would like. I think it's interesting because when you can be with someone every single day, or you guys eventually get to the point where you live together, you get used to their habits. You get used to their mannerisms, their routines. They're always there. You're not really talking on the phone or texting each other because it's like if you want to talk to them, you just walk into the room that they're in. And it feels more trusting because you have that groundedness, you have that stability and security because you guys are always together. So when you take that element out and you're trying to start from scratch and you're trying to build that strong, trusting, secure foundation, you have to be more intentional with the things that your partner needs from you. And you have to be willing to be consistent with it until you guys get to that point. The issue that I'm pulling for him, Smiley, is that he is worried that what you're asking of him is something that's just going to be getting worse and worse, or he feels like more and more restrictive, or he feels like this is something that he's going to be dealing with for the rest of forever that you guys are together. And I think what needs to be clear to him is that this is just what you need at this time. You know, this may not be forever, but right now, this is what you're needing from him. So can he pull up? Can he do this for you? Can he handle that? Like, and then at that point, that's a conversation that needs to be had. You said the thing is he brings it up and offers it, not, oh, you're not asking for it. So you're trying to see if you're over exaggerating, and is it your ego or is he really just tripping? Okay. Like, he will say stuff like, you're making me mad. I'll talk to you Saturday or Sunday. I said, I'd rather not, and blocked him. So like, that's the problem also too, a little bit with like communication styles. Philomena, yeah, I am done for the night. I'm sorry, friend. I should be back tomorrow though. So what's happening, Smiley, is I have the Emperor card. The way he's viewing you is like, how much more of this is going to go on? Is it going to get worse? Is it going to feel more restrictive? Are we going to see eye to eye? And you notice the times, I'm going to assume, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the times that things are really good between you guys is when you're physically together. So either that has to change, like you guys have to find a way to see each other more, or I don't know. But if that's just like absolutely not possible, then I think a conversation needs to be, this is what I need. What do you need from me? What you need from me, I can do for you. What I need from you, can you do for me? Can we agree on that? And if you guys can meet in the middle and compromise, then I think you guys can work this out. The problem is communication styles. And then there's also like this power dynamic between the two of you because he's trying to lead. He's trying to be the man of the relationship, but you have very strong feelings about certain things that need to be respected. Are they done for good? Are they done for good? You guys are not done for good, girl. I don't know what makes you think you guys are done and over. I have the Eight of Swords and the Hangman. There is still unfinished business between you guys. There's more to this story. Should she suck it up? Should she suck it up? You shouldn't suck it up. it's not something easily you can just get over, because what you don't want is resentment to build up. So this is definitely something that has to be handled head on. However, I do have the Ace of Pentacles. So they're indicating to me to extend some kind of olive branch. And this could be just going about this in a different way that might make things better or easier. I don't think you should fully give in, because there should always be that meeting in the middle when it comes to relationships, but maybe approaching it in a different way, because clearly whatever's been going on hasn't really been working out very well. He mentioned moving in together. He's been after me 3 years. He finally gave him a chance and he's acting childish. You blocked him Friday. It's almost Friday again. Oh, Smiley, you guys just have to get out of the way of your own feelings. He's probably not reaching out to you because he can't communicate with you. Wasn't that your question? You were like, is he gonna reach out to me or something like that? He might have already. Have you unblocked him yet? And just seen if a message has come through? Is that how that works? If you unblock someone, or do you just never see their message? I don't really know how that works, but I think if you're blocking him, it's hard for him to communicate with you. He called you at 6 a.m. blocked the next day, so I guess he's trying to see. So Smiley, yeah, so girl, you guys have clearly have strong feelings for each other, so I think your communication styles are just a little bit different. So I think it's definitely something you'll have to work on, but I feel like Spirit is saying it's not over by any means. It is not over. If she unblocks him, oh, you said you did unblock him. When will he try to contact her? When will he try to contact her? Will he contact her? All right, they're saying it's more likely, Smiley, that you'll have to contact him if you want to hear from him soon. But I think if you don't and you leave him unblocked, you could hear from him by the weekend. Because I think, like you said, periodically he is checking to see if he's still blocked. But I think at this point, because he's been blocked for so long, it might be the ball might be in your court to reach out to him. Because when I asked, should she reach out, I got a yes. And I said, will he reach out? And I got a maybe. So I think that in time, he would communicate with you. But I think that if you're wanting to speed up that process, you'll have to reach out to him first. Because right now, he's in his feelings. I have the King of Cups. I think he's feeling a little bit butthurt, for lack of better words. And he's kind of going, fine. I see him, crossing his arms and having that kind of attitude of, well, she's not going to talk to me, then whatever kind of thing. So let's see. When should she reach out to him? When should she reach out to him? Should she reach out to him? Should it be this weekend? Should it be this weekend? Should it be this weekend? Yeah, they're saying you're going to have to make the effort if you want it to be sooner. But they said that if you want it to be him, you could wait out the weekend. So, for instance, the message that I feel the most confident about is that he will reach out again this weekend. He will check in again and see if he's blocked this weekend. So if you want to wait it out and then wait for him to call you, then I think you could, and just wait until next week, and you should hear from him before then. But if you're wanting to communicate with him sooner, I have the Eight of Pentacles. You will have to make the effort because he's in a place where he's kind of frustrated. So I think calling you would just be a matter of, am I blocked or am I not blocked? But you guys have very, very strong feelings for each other. So I think you guys are going to reconnect, and it's going to be in the next couple of days, whether that's you or him. You know what I mean? You said you'll wait. If she contacts him, how will he react? He's feeling indifferent right now, Smiley. So, I mean, I think whether you reach out to him or he reaches out to you, his feelings are going to be the same. I think he's hurt. I think he's frustrated and I think he's hurt. So I think whether that's you calling him, he's going to act the same way as if he reached out to you. And I think also if you, since you unblocked him, when he calls you to check to see if he's still blocked, and you answer, I think he won't expect that. So I think that's going to also catch him off guard. I think hearing from you or him calling you and you answering, they're both going to catch him off guard. So I think right now, he's just frustrated, and I think that's how he's going to react. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like you're on his mind. All right, girl. Yes, Brennan's gonna call me any minute now, so I have to run. You're so welcome. I hope you have a great night. Everyone else, thank you so much for your donations this evening. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. And I will see you guys next time. Adios, everyone. Have a great night. Bye, Smiley.